Thank you all for coming here for the film. I just want to invite my colleagues, my producers, and also my producer, Millie Antoine, Daniel Cross from I Still Film, and also Lillian, who also worked on the project. She's also my girlfriend from New York.
That's why he's smiling now.
So, yeah, thank you for being here to see the film. I guess I can give you guys a little update of the family first. We were able to show the film in China last November at the Guangzhou Documentary Film Festival. So I traveled back to Guangzhou. I met with the couple again. So in the end of the film, you saw the mother went back to village to take care of her little boy, Yang. But by the end of last year, because the economy was picking up, so there are more jobs available, and she decided that she will once again leave her village to work in the factory with her husband. Because essentially it's still very difficult for the father to work alone and support the entire family. They don't, I think, like many migrant families, it's just impossible for one person to work and support the entire family. I think that's sad, but it's the reality there. And the mother was very proud to tell me that Yang, the little boy, was doing really great this year. He finally got a #1 in his class. So she was really proud and cheering. Qing left Shenzhen. She went to another province, find a work in a hotel. She was back on the village farm in October to celebrate the boy's birthday with him, and then she left again. She's talking to the grandma, but not with the parents. I think she's still kind of mad at the parents because they were never around. Yeah, so that's some updates from the family, and I will take questions. Yes, please.
How did you film the train scenes? I mean, it seems like bedlam, and I just can't imagine filming.
Right. So the question is, how did we manage to shoot the train scene? Logistically, it's very challenging. First of all, you need to make sure that you will be able to get on the train. So we actually buy a lot of tickets on different days. So just make sure that the crew can get on the train if they got ticket. And in the crowd scene that you saw, it was quite dangerous. That at the moment the crowd just carries you, and you just flow with all these people. And if someone in front of you trip, and then it's like a chain reaction, everyone trip down. And also another challenge is we always lose the family because there's so many people shuffling through. So because they were all wearing wireless microphone, I told the mother and the father that whenever you don't see us around, please speak to your microphone and let us know where you are. So my sound man would pick up their location, and then we will go find them. So by doing that, we lost each other, and we find each other again. We got stuck at the railway station for 3 days, and we're the lucky ones. There are people who stayed there for 10 days. So it's quite challenging. Yes, please.
Two questions. Forgive my ignorance, but is it common to have 2 children now in China? I remember when it was just 1. And secondly, how common is this that children are left in the village when the parents go to work and some alienation takes place?
So first question is about the Chinese family planning policy, if people are allowed to have 2 children now. No. There's still family planning policy, but in the countryside, people seems to respect that policy a little less than in the city. Traditionally, everyone wants to have a boy. So in countryside, also you wanted to have labor in the family. So what happens is you pay a fine to have a second child. Sorry, what's your second question?
How common is the migrant workers splitting up from their children, then alienation happens.
Right. I would say it's very common. It's a whole generation of children being left behind on the farm since the country's opening up and all these factories being built in the coastal areas, and a huge number of men and women left their family behind to work in the factory. Yes, please.
How did you find and pick this family?
I went on the research. So the question is, how did I find the family? I started shooting in 2006. I went to Guangzhou, a big factory town. So I worked around the factory neighborhoods. I talked to many migrants. And then when I met this family in the Zhangs, their story, I think, represents many levels of the great internal migration that's happening in China for a few decades. So I sense this family will be the perfect subject for me to tell this story. And, yeah.
There's a gentleman there, who's had his hand up a lot.
Yes.
I guess the answer. So I was curious, so many of the people were oblivious to the cameras and the lights, so that must have been a lot of editing. I was curious as to, must have been a multiple of filming, so that the people weren't aware, didn't appear to be aware of the cameras.
Right. So the question is how the people, I guess, look natural in the shots, and how they're not aware of the cameras. Well, we spend a lot of time with them. There's no trick. I mean, making a documentary film, you do need that kind of commitment and that amount of time being invested with the subject. A lot of times we would just not shoot. We hang out with them, we talk to them, share our lives together, so that eventually we're kind of like a family. And it's something about the culture as well. Once you get accepted by them, they would really take you in as part of the bigger family.
I think you're also wondering about the crowd scenes, right?
Yeah.
Not even so specifically about this film, but we've shot several films in China, and we never have a problem with people making googly faces at the camera or waving at the camera, or they kind of ignore you, and they don't block you from filming. I think it might be an authority thing.
No. You're in China too, when we were shooting up the Yanzi.
Well, I mean, I would say the people are quite respectful, but also there's lots of cameras. I mean, we had a fairly small crew and no lights and a small camera, and most of the tourists you'd see around town and richer people have bigger cameras than ours.
That's true. Documentary filmmaking always we try to do it guerrilla style.